Egolessness. We have been speaking of Buddha nature as though it was something that could be described, as though it were similar to the soul of other teachings, but it is not. The concept of an ego personality is something that has been imagined by a discriminating mind which first grasped it and then became attached to it, but which must abandon it. On the contrary, Buddha nature is something indescribable that must first be discovered. In one sense, it resembles an ego personality, but it is not the ego in the sense of I am or mine. To believe in the existence of an ego is an erroneous belief that supposes the existence of non-existence. To deny Buddha nature is wrong, for it supposes that existence is non-existence. This can be explained in a parable. A mother took her sick child to a doctor. The doctor gave the child medicine and instructed the mother not to nurse the child until the medicine was digested. The mother anointed her breast with something bitter, so that the child would keep away from her of his own volition. After the medicine had time enough to be digested, the mother cleansed her breast and let the child suck her. The mother took this method of saving her child out of kindness, because she loved the child. Like the mother in the parable, Buddha, in order to remove misunderstanding and to break up attachments to an ego personality, denies the existence of an ego. And when the misunderstanding and attachments are done away with, then he explains the reality of the true mind that is the Buddha nature. Attachment to an ego personality leads people into delusions, but faith in their Buddha nature leads them to enlightenment. It is like the woman in a story to whom a chest was bequeathed. Not knowing that the chest contained gold, she continued to live in poverty until another person opened it and showed her the gold. Buddha opens the minds of people and shows them the purity of their Buddha nature. If everyone has this Buddha nature, why is there so much suffering from people cheating one another or killing one another? And why are there so many distinctions of rank and wealth, rich and poor? There is a story of a wrestler who used to wear an ornament on his forehead of a precious stone. One time when he was wrestling, the stone was crushed into the flesh of his forehead. He thought he had lost the gem and went to a surgeon to have the wound dressed. When the surgeon came to dress the wound, he found the gem embedded in the flesh and covered over with blood and dirt. He held up a mirror and showed the stone to the wrestler. Buddha nature is like the precious stone of this story. It becomes covered over by the dirt and dust of other interests, and people think that they have lost it, but a good teacher recovers it again for them. Buddha nature exists in everyone, no matter how deeply it may be covered over by greed, anger and foolishness, or buried by his own deeds and retribution. Buddha nature cannot be lost or destroyed, and when all defilements are removed, sooner or later it will reappear. Like the wrestler in the story who was shown the gem buried in his flesh and blood by means of a mirror, so people are shown their Buddha nature, buried beneath their worldly desires and passions by means of the light of Buddha. Buddha nature is always pure and tranquil, no matter how varied the conditions and surroundings of people may be. Just as milk is always white, regardless of the color of the cow's hide, either red, white, or black, so it does not matter how differently their deeds may condition people's life, or what different effects may follow their acts and thoughts. There is a fable told in India of a mysterious medical herb that was hidden under the tall grasses of the Himalayas. For a long time, men sought for it in vain, but at last, a wise man located it by its sweetness. As long as the wise man lived, he collected this medical herb in a tub, but after his death, the sweet elixir remained hidden in some far-off spring in the mountains, and the water in the tub turned sour and harmful and of a different taste. In like manner, Buddha nature is hidden away beneath the wild growth of worldly passions and can rarely be discovered, but Buddha found it and revealed it to the people, and as they receive it by their varying faculties, it tastes differently to each person. The diamond, the hardest of known substances, cannot be crushed. Sand and stones can be ground to powder, but diamonds remain unscathed. Buddha nature is like the diamond and thus cannot be broken. Human nature, both its body and mind, will wear away, but the nature of Buddhahood cannot be destroyed. Buddha nature is indeed the most excellent characteristic of human nature. Buddha teaches that although in human nature there may be endless varieties such as men and women, there is no discrimination with regard to Buddha nature. Pure gold is procured by melting ore and removing all impure substances. If people would melt the ore of their minds and remove all the impurities of worldly passion and egoism, they would all recover the same pure Buddha nature.